All right, 21. For what can my friend Cassius Velleius allege to show why pleasure is the chief good, which I cannot either maintain more fully if I were so inclined, or refute with the aid of those commonplaces which Antonius has set forth, and that habit of speaking in which Velleius himself is unexercised, but every one of us is experienced? What is there that either Sextus Pompeius or the two Balbi or my acquaintance Marcus Vigilius, who lived with Pantius, all men of the Stoic sect, can maintain concerning virtue in such a manner that either I or any one of you should give place to them in debate? For philosophy is not like other arts or sciences, since what can he do in geometry or in music who has never learned? He must be silent or be thought a madman. But the principles of philosophy are discovered by such minds as have acuteness and penetration enough to exact what is most probable concerning any subject, and are elegantly expressed with the aid of exercise in speaking. On such topics, a speaker of ordinary abilities, if he has no great learning but has had practice in declaiming, will, by virtue of such practice, common to others as well as to him, beat our friends the philosophers, and not suffer himself to be despised and held in contempt. But if ever a person shall arise who shall have abilities to deliver opinions on both sides of a question on all subjects after the manner of Aristotle, and from a knowledge of the precepts of that philosopher to deliver two contradictory orations on every conceivable topic, or shall be able after the manner of Aurelius or Carneades to dispute against every proposition that can be laid down, and shall unite with those powers rhetorical skill rhetorical skill and practice and exercise in speaking, he will be the true, the perfect, the only orator. For neither without the nervous eloquence of the forum can an orator have sufficient weight, dignity, and force, nor without variety of learning sufficient eloquence and judgment. Let us suffer that old Corax of yours, therefore, to hatch his young birds in the nest, that they may fly out disagreeable and troublesome brawlers, and let us allow Pamphilius, whoever he was, to depict a science of such consequence upon flags, as if for an amusement for children, while we ourselves describe the whole business of an orator in so short a disputation as that of yesterday and today, admitting, however, that it is of such extent as to be spread through all the books of the philosophers, into which none of those rhetoricians has ever dipped. 22. Catalius then said, "It is indeed by no means astonishing, Crassius, that there should appear in you either such energy, or such agreeableness, or such copiousness of language, though I previously supposed that it was merely from the force of nature, nope, of natural genius, that you spoke in such a way as to seem to me not only the greatest of orators, but the wisest of men. But I now understand that you have always given precedence to matters relating to philosophy, and your copious stream of eloquence has flowed from that source. And yet, when I recollect the different stages of your life, and when I consider your manner of living and pursuits, I can neither conceive at what time you acquired that learning, nor can I imagine you to be strongly addicted to those studies, or men, or writings, nor can I determine at which of these two things I ought most to feel surprised, that you could obtain a thorough knowledge of those matters which you persuade. Hold on, the chair's messed up. Persuade me are of the utmost assistance in oratory amid such important occupations as yours, or that, if you could not do so, you could speak with such effect. Here Crassius rejoined, I would have you first of all, Catullus, persuade yourself of this, that when I speak of an orator, I speak not much otherwise than I should do if I had to speak of an actor, for I should say that he could not possibly give satisfaction in his gesture unless he had learned the exercises of the palestra and dancing, nor would it be necessary that, when I said this, I should be myself a player, though it perhaps would be necessary that I should be a not skillful critic in another man's profession. In like manner, I am now at your request speaking of the orator, that is, the perfect orator. For about whatever art or faculty inquiry is made, it always relates to it in its state of absolute perfection. And if, therefore, you now allow me to be a speaker, if even a pretty good one, or a positively good one, I will not contradict you. For why should I, at my time of life, be so foolish? I know that I am esteemed such, but if it be so, I am certainly not perfect, for there is not among mankind any pure pursuit of greater difficulty or effort, or that requires more aids from learning. But since I have to speak of the orator, I must of necessity speak of the perfect orator. For unless the powers and nature of a thing be set before the eyes in their utmost perfection, its character and magnitude cannot be understood. Yet I confess, Catullus, that I do not at present live in any great familiarity with the writings or the professors of philosophy, and that, as you have rightly observed, I never had much leisure to set apart from the acquisition of such learning, and that I have only given to study such portions of time as my leisure when I was a youth and vacations from the business of the forum have allowed me.